Hey Cardinal fans, and welcome to another edition of Cardinal Game Day, your home for UIW reviews, news, and previews. My name is Rory.
My name is Reyes. Well, Roy, it was yet another rough game for the Cardinals this week at #1 ranked North Dakota State University.
Chris, rough is a pretty accurate way to describe it. And as much as I hate to say it, there really weren't a whole lot of positives that we can take from that game. However, one of the most consistent players on the roster was added again in big man Corey Lee, notching up another 2 tackles for a loss.
He now has 6 tackles for a loss this season for a total loss of 38 yards. 3 games into the season, and Lee looks like he just might break Robbie Horton's record of 50 yards on tackles for a loss, which was set back in 2011. Another standout for the Cardinals was Ramon Cotto Jr., the freshman kicker-punter.
Yeah, Cotto managed to keep up solid form, punting 8 times and averaging 43 yards a punt with a long of 50. He also managed to kick his 4th touchback from kickoff this season, tying the current school record held by Thomas Rebold.
A major point of concern for the Cardinals is the continuing absence of a running game. As we've been saying week after week here on Cardinal Game Day, the running game, which has been a strength in the past, is incredibly lackluster this season. They're only averaging 65 yards a game on the ground.
For sure, the running game has been pretty disappointing. It's really difficult to set up an offense without a running game, which is evident in the Cardinals' average of 5.3 points per game and 1 touchdown across the first 3 games. Sure, we've played some pretty good teams so far this season, but there's plenty more to come, and unless the offense really manages to turn things around, it may be a very long season for our Cardinals.
Let's hope that when we see a turnaround this week, when the Cardinals head to Abilene to play an old rival in the Abilene Christian University Wildcats. Last time they met, the Cardinals managed to pull off a victory, 34-31 at Benson Stadium. They've also been the Cardinals' most common opposition in the team's 6-year history.
The Wildcats are currently 1-2 after they got their first win of the season this year against an FBS program in Troy University in Alabama. All 3 games that they've played this season have been decided by 6 points or less. They also have a very impressive QB in Parker McKenzie. He's completing an average of 71.9% of his passes, and he's averaging 293.3 passing yards a game. He's thrown 8 touchdowns and 4 interceptions on the season.
The Wildcats receiving leaders include DeMarcus Thompson with 20 receptions for 232 yards, and Cedric Gilbert with 5 catches for 183 yards and 3 touchdowns. The defensive leaders include Justin Stewart with 25 tackles on the season and Nick Richardson with 21 tackles and 2.5 sacks.
The Wildcats are a pretty solid team that's performed very well so far this season. Now tell me, Chris, what are your Cardinals' keys to the game if they want to pick up a win on the road in Abilene this weekend?
Offense, offense, offense. So far this year, we've been outscored 145-16 across 3 games with only 1 touchdown. Our special teams has been solid with a good return game and impressive punting. We also have the ability to kick long field goals. We just need to find a way to increase our offensive production. Averaging 224 yards a game just isn't going to cut it. We saw a lot more of Braylon McCullum this week. Maybe he might be able to shake up the offense and give us the spark we sorely need. Also, the running backs need to have a good game. It's week 4. They've been substandard to this point. Better late than never. Let's get to work.
I'm going to bring up the defense. We currently allow 484 yards per game and almost 49 points. The worst part is our defense has been pretty good at times. They end up spending a lot of time on the park because of the high offensive possession turnover, but they're going to have to really dig deep. We were competitive against SFA until partway through the 3rd quarter, but hopefully more offensive production will give the defense a break we need this week. If not, the defense needs to dig deep and make first-time tackles when it counts. They're going to be exhausted at the end of the game, but it will be the difference.
I couldn't agree more with you, Roy. Well, Cardinal fans, that's all we have for you this week on Cardinal Game Day. Once again, thank you for tuning in, and be sure to check in next week when we review the ACU game and look forward to the home game against Southeastern Louisiana. My name is Reyes.
And I'm Rory. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next week. Until then, let's go Cardinals.